He's really a great scientist. But I've had other really important influences. For example, my main collaborator is a statistician, Nick Patterson, who I work with all the time, and this is his third career. He was a cryptographer. He broke codes for the US and the British governments, and he was a hedge fund scientist, and he really loves thinking about data and trying to get to the bottom of things, and that's been a great influence on me. So I think that what's very interesting about the field is really how much power we have to learn about things that we didn't know about before. There's big questions about the nature of human history. How did the people who currently exist now, how did we get here? And things that we assume are true that actually turn out not to be true, and you could see those in the genetic data. And so, for example, people often think that Europeans are a homogeneous group that's arrived in a simple way there maybe 40 or 50,000 years ago based on the archaeology, and just kind of sat there until they became the Europeans they are today. But that's probably not true. The Europeans today are a replacement population who came in much more recently and replaced the people who were there originally 40,000 years ago. People in Africa, certainly very diverse, but in fact there's very deep strands of variation in Africa. And for example, West Africans, people, the primary ancestral group of African Americans today actually turn out to be mixtures of very differently diverged groups that go very deep in time. And so this is all very interesting. Also true for East Asians. East Asians, people in China today, are not the same people who were there for the first time 40,000 years ago. In fact, they're a replacement population largely that arrived there after the first people there. So you see this history of more complex population movements than people think at first. I think the disk with all my data sets. I think that's what we need.
Very Indo-European.